Hello everyone, my name's Ulister and welcome to another episode of Hardcore Minecraft Season 2. As you can see, we are starting this episode in the exact same place that we left the last one, right next to the mob farm. And you're probably wondering why it looks a little bit different and why it's not finished yet. Well see, there's a reason for that. You see, the problem with the first design was, although it worked perfectly fine, it didn't give me the return on items that I was really hoping for. I mean, to be fair, that's to be expected. It was just a single 5x8 platform, which isn't really that big when you think about it. You see, the standard platform spawning size in a mob farm is usually around 7x7 or 8x8, and there's 4 of them. I had a single 8x5 section, so the spawning rate was slightly lower than usual, which we had to fix. So I've redesigned things, and I've basically created, let me just jump down here quickly, a gigantic pool of water where all of the mobs will be pushed into, leading into the fire pit of doom over there in the center, and I now have to figure out how I'm going to engineer this so that water, let me just pick up all my torches first before I demonstrate this, how I'm going to engineer this so that the water appears in the middle of the platform, pushes everything out to the side, and then vanishes again. Now the obvious thing here is to just use a dispenser in the middle, which would work. The problem is, you can't use redstone dust anywhere where you would put water, because even if you hooked it up perfectly, as soon as the first water bucket was released by the dispenser, all the redstone gets washed away, and then it stops working. So I've got to figure out a different way of doing this. I could probably use observers. Like, I'd have to, hang on a second, I'd have to, 1, 2, 3... have the next platform be that high up, and then if I just quickly do this into the center of the platform here, which I think is this point. So right there, perfect. So if I do this and then cut that hole out there, what I could do, because of the way observers work, I could have an observer be in this empty block here, connect it to a dispenser below it, which then releases the water and then brings it back in. I could try that. Alright, off we go to make some observers, because I currently don't have any. Okay, so how do we make an observer? We need redstone, cobblestone, and quartz. Oh, I have that in spades. Not that chest, not that chest. I have, where, okay, well, there's the quartz. Where did I put the other redstone? Because I know I have more than what I'm currently holding. Where did I put it all? Oh, wait, I'm stupid. I'm actually stupid. The redstone's not here. It's in the mining facility. Sweet, sweet redstone. I'm gonna take you, and actually, while I'm here, let's just grab some cobblestone too. I think 6 should be enough, right? We shouldn't need much more than that, surely. Oh, this is fine. This is totally fine. Get off my bridge. Get off my bridge. Ooh, no, 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 no. I apologize. I'm sorry. Leave me alone. Okay, so we're back here once again, and we have dispensers, and we have observers. So I need to figure out, before I start putting these in, I need to remember which one faces to you and which one faces away from you. Okay, so observer faces away from you, dispenser faces towards you. I've never understood why they can't just make it uniform across all blocks, but whatever. I mean, I complain about that, but that makes this a bit easier, because it means I can just look up, place the observer, which means the activation pulse is facing down, so I can then, again, look up, place the dispenser, just get on the edge here, and then that means that the activation, the release mechanism is now pointing downwards. So what I need to do is put a bucket of water in there. And then to test this, I need to get a set of building blocks. Just climb up here, jump over here, and then we're going to pretend that water has been released from the platform above this one. So we're going to place a block there. Okay, that works. And now the signal comes through saying, yo, draw the water back in. Perfect. That worked. I shouldn't be surprised that that works, but it does, and I'm happy. I guess now what we have to do is build this thing. And that should be this mostly completed. All I have to do now is finish encasing the insides entirely so it's dark enough for mobs to spawn, and of course to make the redstone component up here so it all works in the first place. Now the keen-eyed amongst you will notice that the dispenser is now facing up instead of the observer. This is because while I was building it and I was testing it as I went, I kind of realized that there's some conflict, I guess you could say, between how an observer works and how water works when you remove it with a bucket. I'll show you what I mean quickly here. So, observers work by observing state changes in a block. If the state of the block it's looking at changes, it sends out that redstone pulse, and that's how you get the power from it. Now, when you're filling a block in with water, when you place a water bucket down, the block goes from empty to full in one movement, like that. Nice and simple. One state change, one pulse. Easy. However, when you remove the water block with a bucket, it's not just one state change. If you watch closely, you'll see what happens. You see, the water disappears, as it should, and then it gets filled in by the water around the four sides of it, and then it slowly gets lower and lower until it's gone. So it's about 5 or 6 state changes total. Roughly. And if I place down an observer, you'll see this even clearer. So I'll place the water block here, and this is going to pulse once. Like that. And then if I remove it, count how many times it pulses. 5 in total. Which you might think isn't that big of a problem, but considering that the whole point of this is to release the water and then pull it back in, if every single dispenser is pulsing 5 times per cycle, it's not gonna do what I want it to do. There's a chance that because of the way the ticks work in this game, that not every dispenser will fire, and as I was building it and testing it as I went, there were some floors that were just out of sync entirely. Some were empty of water, some were full of water, and it just didn't work. So that's why I had to go back through and swap around the observers with all of the dispensers. Now I do need to perform one final test up here, actually. So we're going to grab this redstone torch, and I'm honestly hoping this works, because if it doesn't, then I'm going to feel kind of stupid. So, although there is nothing in this dispenser, it's empty. The redstone circuit going over it when powered will still count as a state change. It will still fire. The dispenser will still activate as if it's trying to shoot something out, which hopefully will be enough for the observer to trigger. So we're going to just test this real quick. Oh, that sounded promising. And there we go. All the floors now have water. And that, honestly, is just so majestic. We get rid of that. And it all turns off. Amazing. So all I've got to do now is figure out what kind of circuit I need for this. Because, as you saw, the water gets released when powered, and then gets drawn back in when depowered. So I can't just do a simple thing where, you know, you just put repeaters over it like that. Let me just put this down for a delay, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 back this way. you can't just do this, and then just put a redstone torch here for a second. Because then what happens is it activates and deactivates immediately, and no water actually comes down the platforms, which is useless. So I need to figure out what system to use to get it to stay on for a certain amount of time. I mean, I don't know why I took everything up. It was correct with the placement. I just need to figure out the final, well, countdown, I guess, if you will. Now this is going to be coming out a little bit further, so I can actually bring these two out like so, and then, I don't know, increase the length of this a little bit, and then the same in this direction. But I need to work out how to have it turn on for a certain amount of time, and then off for a certain amount of time. I mean, I guess I could just make this really long, and then leave the redstone torch like this, the same as I did just then, but instead of doing that, leaving it on for a few seconds, so the power takes up half of this circuit? I don't know, is that going to be long enough for things to spawn, is my question. I'll need to do some testing, because I want gunpowder. So now that I have just enclosed the entire inside, so it's in complete darkness, I guess the only thing we can really do is test this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this redstone torch down until about 3/4 of this row are filled up, and then I'll remove it, and then that'll be my on and off section. 1/2 off, 1/2 on, and then we'll see how that goes. So about there, and then I'm just gonna climb up here, and I guess we're just gonna have to see what happens. So it's been about 15 minutes since I went up into the AFK room. And I want to go back down and see how things are going, to see if it's work. Why am I doing this the slow way? I can just fall off, land in the water. It's fine. It's safe. That is just a very, very heartwarming thing to see. All these mobs just giving me their precious loot. Which should be okay. Okay, yeah, you know what? I'd say this was a good change. This was a very good change. You know, some 15 minutes and we get this. If I stayed up there for an hour, times some of this by 4. I mean, we've got plenty of gunpowder now for rockets. We have lots of bones for bone meal. We've got string that I can use to make wool. I don't need to worry about sheep anymore for that. I can just do that, and suddenly wool for days. And then of course, you know, the zombie flesh for when I get clerics. Oh, this is so good. This is so good. I'm taking that arrow, that stack of arrows, and that one, and that one, and that one. And do you want to know why I'm taking all of those? Because my next venture is to go into the end and get myself some elytra. Because I can do that now. And now I think we're as ready as we're gonna be for finding an elytra. We currently have the book with Unbreaking 3 and Mending on it, an anvil to apply said book, over a stack of rockets, plenty of end stone for bridging, a stone cutter to turn these into half blocks, which, you know, you might also call slabs, to double the amount of blocks I have, essentially, and then a trapdoor to help me get through the portal to the Outer Lands. And then, of course, 10 chests, along with a crafting table that I can use to get myself some shulker boxes. And then some ender pearls if I need it to get out of tight situations. So let's just go ahead, put that there. 21 cooked pork chop. Should be enough. Should be enough. I guess worst case scenario, I can just get to one elytra, come back, restock with food, and then head back out. So I need to head over here and find out where this spits me out in the outer islands. And then I can start looking for... Oh my god, how is... Oh, that's not even close to fair. Don't they normally spawn above the center island? Not out in the void itself? Oh, this could be interesting and not in a good way. I lived. I'm here. I made it. I got the platform off by 1 block, but I lived. I lived. Now, all we have to do, of course, is hope that this honest to God ridiculousness is not repeated on the other side, because if it is, well, that's going to be a very instant death for me. With nothing I can... Wait. Okay. I'm prepared. I'm ready. Oh, let's go. Okay, that was too close for comfort. I'm just gonna crouch and walk to the center. Crouch and walk to the center. And then wait for things to spawn in and see if I can see any cities close by already. I think that's a no. So considering where I am, and considering my coordinates, and the fact that looking east seems to just gaze into nothing but void, I think it's a safe assumption that I'm on the western side of the main island. So I think I should head west. And what I'm going to do, considering I have brought 2 stacks of ender pearls and I've just gained another 4 by, killing enderman, I think I should just use this to get around, because it'll be safer, weirdly. Alright, don't mess this up. Okay, so far so good. Just, be careful of your eye positioning when you teleport places. Okay, I don't think I can throw it that far. Not that I'm nervous or anything, but I feel like you should know, whenever I'm bridging out over the void in the end, or lava in the nether, I hold shift harder than I have ever done at any other point in time. In hindsight, using these ender pearls to get around, it's probably a horrible idea because it's making me use up my food. But then also, end city with a ship, so worth it? Now, at this point, the smart thing to do would be to just run underneath the ship and tower up to get my elytra. However, I do want some shulker boxes, so we're gonna do this the old-fashioned way. We have it. We have an elytra, which means I can now get the anvil, do that, and then where's the book? Put that there. Cost 6, we have 8. Absolute perfection right here. It does mean I have to get rid of my chest piece, though, to use it. But, you know, it's a small price to pay for, you know, flight in general. I just have to be careful not to get hit by many things, because it will hurt if I do that now. I got 2 more shulker boxes, so I can just do this. Hope I don't get hit by a flying thing while I am doing that. Fine. And then where to go from here? I've got a number of options. I can either go cruising for more ships, more cities to get myself some gear, or I can head back home and do that later. And I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to take the second option. I'm going to head back home, and we're going to head back to the ends, most likely off camera. We're going to come back here at another point, and I'm just going to stock up on gear, I think, to have as spares in the off chance that I forget to mend stuff and it breaks or whatever. But we'll see. Yeah, I think what we'll do is I'm going to bring up the coordinates, and I need to head to 0, 0, which is in this direction by quite a way. I mean, in all honesty, I might find another end city from up here, but we're not going to be visiting that today. Instead, we're just going to have a slow glide towards the central island, head back home, and I think, let me just go up into the sky a little bit more for safety reasons. I think that is where we are going to end things for today in this video. We have achieved 2 things today. We have both finished a mob farm, and we have managed to score ourselves some elytra, which is excellent, and honestly, couldn't be happier. Next time around, I'm not sure. I am not sure what we're going to be doing. I'll think of something though between now and then. But until then, I hope you've enjoyed this. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.